Flexi to Embed is an initiative to create a common platform between professional architects and student architects to build a cohesive society to propagate knowledge and experience. And we are glad to have received over 200 registrations from over 40 colleges all over India. And we had to create two separate links so that nobody misses out on the seminar and there would be any further problem. So sorry for any inconvenience that might have happened. And now on to the seminar. Since we joined the BIAC and the architectural curriculum, we may have heard, noticed, or even participated in various competitions. And very popular one is indeed NASA. And but there are always certain questions that pops up in our mind regarding them, like how to participate, how should a presentation be, and how to stay updated on various competitions coming up. So we thought, why don't we ask it from the best themselves? So today we have with us the winners of the International Architectural Competition, Little Big Glue. And I'm presenting to you architect Anurag Radhi, who is a project architect at Praveen Avathe Architects, Raipur, and he interned at SCP Ahmedabad. He also did his master's in urban design from State University.
I'm Anurag Rathi, architect Anurag Rathi, and I have my friends or my partners, Mr. Architect Rishabh Kumar and Siddhi Vashi. We were actually we have been an active members during our college times also. We have been involved in NASA as well as we always participated in different competitions. Rishabh, me, and Siddhi actually met at HCP during our internships. We both were in different departments, and then after 2 to 3 months, we were in the same department. And then we actually had a same, what you can call a mindset or an ideology in terms of architecture per se. Rishabh?
Thank you very much, guys, for the warm welcome. Uh, like Anurag said, we all met at FCP. It was a golden moment for us, like a golden period for us to work like an intern and together in FCP, and that too on urban scale projects. So you see, the big offices have their own style of working, right? So we somehow I believe that we all have that style engraved in ourselves now, that we work in that fashion. Like when you guys can see if you guys can see our work individually, then also I would say that we three of us have similar interests and similar style in working. So that happens due to, I would say, like, because we work the style.
Hello?
Uh, Hi, I'm sorry, I got disconnected for a bit. Can you guys hear me?
Same. Is Rishabh there?
No, I think he got disconnected.
I think
I can't.
there is some problem with the second link.
I can just ask him to join you.
Wait.
Yeah, so I guess as far as competitions go, I think all of us have been like very active members of NASA. I think that is where this competition ka whole idea started, because competition I feel is one thing where you can actually boost your creativity and you can break through from the regular curriculum. Like even in colleges or office projects, we always have this restrictions key. Uh, like there's client budget, there's like there are a lot of restrictions. So I think competition is one place where you can break free from all of that and actually test all your ideas. Like whatever wildest crazy ideas you have, you can use them in the competitions, and let's just say you can test them out in the real world. which I do not think you can in academics or even office work. So like especially after we guys started practicing, I think we have actively been participating in competitions just for this very reason. After a point you exhaust your creativity by doing the same kind of work, same kind of ideas, same kind of restrictions. So you need some window to break through and at least keep on going with that ideas and creativity. So I think that is why it is very important to be a part of competitions.
Correct. So, talking about the Little Big Lou. So after our bachelor's, we were always into looking forward to lecture series and various different competitions which are being held by um, Ethos or Archasm, and this the idea, as this said, the idea of competitions was just to uh, this was a break point for this was just a diversion for us from our regular routine, which we actually wanted to achieve, or which we imagined while we were studying in architecture college. And so the idea of Little Big Lou, the brief itself was, hello.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. People joining the link of XSR, there is a new link in the chat box. Kindly join that. We are really sorry for the inconvenience, but there is a lot of echoing. So we will just accommodate you with the others.
Which link should we join?
Uh,
So, Rishabh, would you like to add on how did we started our Little Big Lou? Your mic is off.
Yeah. So, like there was a situation that a sudden lockdown happened, and I was working from home, and Siddhi and Anurag were also working on their individual projects, but somehow we didn't have much to work on. So one day I just asked them that there is a brief from the volume zero about this blue competition. Would you like guys would like to work on that? So they readily accepted it, and then we started. So it was all the work was all done in from our individual places, and like how we are talking right now, we used to talk and we used to discuss daily, and this was how the design came up. And like I said, this was that was a lockdown period. So I mean, in our design, one can see that the user group is very much, I mean, specifically selected. So at that
I'd like
time,
to add, I'd like to add something before this. Basically, when we read the brief about the Big Lou, so the first idea which comes to our mind is a typical washroom or a public toilet, which we have seen since ages, and we'll just think about the cleanliness or the technical details when we hear the word toilet. So
so the initial thought was like, what can be a toilet? I mean, how can we design a toilet? Like we have been seeing toilet, public toilets, and the individual ones, and the toilets in several buildings or something like that. So we were thinking in that aspect only. So we were very generic in our thought initially, to be honest. Uh, and but then we discussed between ourselves that no, we need to find something that would be the crux of our design. So we
That
came
is
up with
the
that
point.
design.
That is even the point of competitions, right? Like such, you can do regular design throughout your academic, throughout your work hours. That is what you do. But when you get an opportunity to work in a competition like this, that has such an amazing brief that in the brief itself they are mentioning that you need to focus on the social aspects, you need to focus on the recreational aspects, and in the brief itself they are asking that you have to perceive the toilet in a different view, like you have to change the thinking and the thought process or whatever general idea you have about the toilets. So I think the competition brief here itself was really great. That pushed us to kind of think out of the box, that what different can we do. And I think we spent the maximum amount of time behind that itself, like coming up with an
Yeah.
idea and deciding that what do we want to do. Like every day we would come up with, say, 3 ideas, 4 ideas. Like I'll come up with something, they'll reject. They'll come up with something, I'll reject it. So I think we spend a lot of time behind that, criticizing and like just spending thought behind it. Ki, Acha, we want to do this, and then like we'll fully detail it out.
Like I'll say, well, we all will agree. I mean, the idea, the core idea, the thought process behind a brief is the most important thing in the competition. Even if it's a small idea, but you think it's the it is very strong, and it can convey your thought, and can give a different perspective for the brief or for the project, then go for it.
Like there are going to be like hundreds of designs that are going to be amazing. There are going to be hundreds of presentations that are going to be really great. But I think ultimately it's the story that you come up with that is going to tie everything together in the end.
Story is, matlab, agar if you guys get a brief, but if you can mold that brief according to you, and if you are able to achieve that thing, then your design is successful, whether it gets selected or not. But if we are talking about competition and we want to like get shortlisted or win it, then you have to be very much clear, crisp, and straightforward for the idea, and represent it accordingly. So
To add on to this, I would say like if you get a brief, like there are certain pointers that you have to incorporate these many points in your design, and it should adhere to the point. So it's not always necessary that you must, and it's not mandatory to incorporate all these in the way they are written or in the way they are asking you to. You can change the way they are. I mean, you just take away the essence of them, these points, and you incorporate them in association with your story and the design. So the design and the narrative should go hand in hand, should convey each other, should respect each other, and should be in association with each other. So this is the the major tip of winning a competition. Like first one, to never, I mean not never, to don't stick to the points which are given in the brief and do not adhere blindly. Just go with your instinct that what is the real essence of that point in the brief. Second thing, the
The
narrative,
brief.
the narrative and the design. Yeah, these three things. Yeah, Siddhi, you were telling something.
Oh, no, I was just adding to what you were saying, that, basically just make the brief your own, like reinterpret the whole thing in your own way and build like, add your ideas to it, add your thoughts to it. Like, in the end, it should not feel like it is some brief and you are proposing a design for that. It should be a
like
wholesome idea.
like we are supposed to do in our academics, our studios. Like you have a certain brief, you have certain requirement, you have the certain area statement, and you have to just stick to it and do it like as they say it.
I think
So
this is the best part about competitions
right,
because academics may you always have this list of what do we say, this list of things that we are supposed to do कि इतने scale में model लाना है, इतने drawings चाहिए, these number of drawings you have to get, these number of 3D views you have to get. So that is, I feel, in a way, it is very binding. Like, let's say I do not want to give any drawings. I'll just explain my entire design through conceptual sketches. You cannot do that in academics. In competition, you have complete freedom to do that. Like, you show your design the way you want to show. You build your story the way you would like it to be read.
right. So I'll just share my screen to show you our sheet and our process. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, this was our sheet composition. So as we said, the brief was to design a big loo, a washroom, basically a public toilet for uh, for for people. So the basic
Particular
idea was,
user group that we want to target basically.
yeah. So during our this lockdown time, we saw that the laborers or the masons were affected. The migrant workers were affected very much during this lockdown. So we took the idea of why not designing something for them or the construction laborers who face who basically facilitate everything for us, and at the end they are not only get they only don't get facilitated. So the core idea was this. So we built a story uh, accordingly, and we listed down requirements and their psychological thinking, what they might face and what they face during working on sites, and what are their daily routines uh, and activities they carry out apart from working on sites.
So actually, Anurag spent some time on site that time, in, like just asking questions and looking around. Like while all of those things might not really reflect in the sheet, but I think that process itself is very important. Of doing a proper, thorough research of the user group that you are targeting, like of the problems that they are facing or the issues that you want to address. Like ultimately, they do not end up in the sheet, but then they play a very big role in the final outcome that you have.
So, just for an example, the brief stated that you'll have to adhere to the point that you will have to select a site that would be 10 by 10 meters, right? And it has to be a proper site. But in our sheet, one can see that it's a generic one. It's not a proper site. It's not a particular site anyway. It's a generic one. So in order to incorporate that essence, we came up with these three typologies of sites. So this was
Hypothetical.
our yeah. So this was our understanding from the brief we took in our design. So this is what the example, the main example which we are trying to convey to all of you, that do not stick to what the point says. Take only the essence what these points are saying to you. Right. So over to you, Siddhi.
Yeah, so basically what Rishabh said about the site, it was like usually in the briefs they have this judging criteria as well. We are going to be judging you on this basis, and of course, site is also a very important part of that. But then for the story that we took, or for the idea that we took, it was very important for us that it is something that is, let's say, modular or adaptable, or basically can be used all over the country and any place and anywhere. Like you just need to provide with a system or set of rules, and then basically the user group can adapt to it. So that is how we just came up with this hypothetical sites, that let's say there's a site looking like that and we have a proposal of something like this. So basically we just gave them an idea. Like it doesn't have to be detailed. You do not really have to do the math ki okay aisa layout hoga, it'll be like that. You just give them a basic idea that okay, if this is the site, this is going to be my proposal.
And in generally what happens, basically because of our academics we are so much into small details, key, like we'll mention each and every dimension of the site, like where is the entry, like if there is some obstruction in the site, we'll basically focus on that and we get stuck to it, and because of that we'll not be able to, we are not able to complete our project within the given time frame. So for competitions, the whole idea is your ideas need to get conveyed in the minimal and simplistic forms, whether it might be some there might be some differences from the existing site or anything, but the whole idea needs to be conveyed. So the next step was, since we we were talking about modular design, that it can be replicated throughout the country, anywhere in the construction site. So it was very much important that these modules need to be very much flexible enough and have multiple combinations of basically on the left side you can see these are the toilet blocks and these are the recreation blocks, because we thought because of the understanding and studying about the user group, the recreation part is very much important for them, because they do not face they do not have this in the existing sites.
So even in these diagrams, as you can see, like we have shown one person that is just lying down, or one person is just sleeping on the hammock. Two or three of them are chatting. So this way, you do not have the need to like properly have a write up कि हाँ ठीक है ये space में इतना इतना होगा. You just show the activity and then it becomes very clear on its own that okay, this is the purpose of this diagram, or this is the purpose of that space.
Right.
So there are certain things which need to be addressed and to be prioritized, right? One thing is the user group. The most important thing in a competition like this is the user group. Like which user group are you kind of catering to? Second one is the narrative, like the story, like we discussed. Like what is their story? What is their problem? The issues, the crucial, the critical issues. And the third one is the design. So from the story, from their issues, we came up to the design and we thought to design something modular. So these are the modular designs which Siddhi and Anurag talked about. And in order to represent, I would like to mention that certain things need to be conveyed only through graphics, while certain others can only be represented or can only be conveyed by narrative. So try to differentiate that and in your mind before going to make your whole composition. Like what needs to be conveyed through graphical representation and what needs to be conveyed in your story. And always try to link these two. So yeah.
Yeah,
these
so
were
basically, this
okay.
was the whole plan. Basically, this was the overall module clustering that we had. Like, so even here we went for something that is very minimal and very simple. Like, we do not have complex plans. We do not have any wall thicknesses. कि इधर window आएगा, इधर wall आएगा, इधर से plumbing जाएगा. Nothing. Just a simple diagram that shows our whole idea. कि okay, these are the modules and this is the way they are arranged. And basically shows the whole system of structure. Ki, okay, there's going to be scaffolding, there's going to be pathways there's going to be modular blocks over it. So basically just something that conveys the idea. It doesn't have to be very complex. And I feel in a competition like this where you're limited to just one event, I think the less you show, the more you are clear on your idea. Anurag.
Yeah. So according to us, the first and foremost important thing in a competition or in order to show your idea for spatial arrangement, isometric diagrams are the best. So in this diagram you can see we have shown the ground floor and the first floor, in which what are the multiple activities which are happening in the space, and how are the movement inside, how are the spaces divided, and basically isometric graphics conveys them all. And visually also for a composition in an A1 sheet or any sheet, isometrics plus 2D plans goes very much simultaneously together. So like see and one of the important thing is the color combination and color scheme for your whole entire sheet composition. Like in order to just to differentiate between different blocks and give them an identity, we use certain set of primary colors. And like the blue ones represent the female washrooms, the red one the blue ones the yellow ones shows the male washroom, and the green one shows the kids washroom. And so you can just get the idea through this isometric only, ki you get navigated and this becomes your signage for the navigation of routes. And then
So
the
in order, like what Anurag told you, like Anurag, could you please go to the previous slide for a moment? So, like Anurag said, the color plays an important role in your overall design. Uh, this is our style that we use very subtle colors, and we tend to use isometrics and such vector graphics per se. But this is not important for each and every one. I mean, you have your own taste, you have your own style. So you go with your style and your graphic sense. But the most important thing is the clarity and the simplicity. Right? We always, I would put this in a funny manner. Like we all use Instagram and we follow Act of Mapping, LSTark, and such pages where we can see both type of graphics, like very complex ones and on the other hand very simple ones. So personally, we all three feel that the simple ones are more conveying and more informative to us. No doubt, the complex ones are also, but it's our style that we go for simple ones. We like subtleness. So likewise, we have incorporated in our design the isometrics and the simple plans, just symbolic ones to represent our design. And we believe that in this sense, we conveyed much more clearly than I mean, I don't know if that would have worked or not, but I think for this, I would definitely say that we are conveying our design to a much extent to the public. Right? Yeah.
So I
So
think that is a process that we followed also while coming up with the ideas for diagrams and illustrations. Like we came up with ideas and we would scrutinize it. Ki, theek hai, we are putting this illustration. What are we really conveying from this illustration?
Correct.
So basically, let's say you have 3 illustrations which are conveying 2-3 different ideas. Instead, why not just have one illustration that is conveying the entire thing as a wholesome? Basically just you cannot just crowd the sheet with different things. You have to think strategically ki, instead of like having 5 diagrams for this one little idea, why not just have one diagram that is giving me the entire idea as a whole.
And one of the most important thing is, like, when it comes to representation, no, or while designing also. So as I earlier said, we get stick into details, and like
True.
for example, if you see in this isometric, the railings are not actually going to be constructed like this. This is the simplest form of representation of railing. Like how obviously there are going to be more details getting added to this, but the simplest way to represent the railing is this way, so that it do not hinder the drawing. If you put more or more detailings, that things get confused, and the things get confusing, and your overall idea may not be conveyed in the drawing.
And sometimes then we just keep on spending unnecessary amount of time on the things that are not even going to be read in the sheet.
Right, correct. So while I'll suggest ki when you are working on SketchUp or Revit or any modeling software, draw that much which is needed, which is going to be shown. Don't put unnecessary details. Okay.
yeah, that would eventually save your time and effort. Yeah. So another important aspect design, like from simply showing the scheme, the spatial organization of the overall design, to something which shows the technicality of the design. So we here have tried to incorporate to also to show the technicality of the toilet design we have made through graphical representation, through I would say the exploded isometric. So this is one of the ways one can find different ways in order to represent these technicalities. But for us, the toilet. Sorry.
Hello. So yeah. So if you guys can see, we actually, when we were in the process of designing and we were when we had continuous discussions, we actually had the idea of how the commodes are going to be, how the urinals are going to be, how the basins are going to be, and how the showers bathing showers are going to be.
And even
But
the the whole construction system as well of the floor,
Yeah.
walls.
how the floorings are going to be, what material is going to be. When we are into designing, we get into this much details, but we have to realize that are this things that much important, matlab, is that equally important to as compared to the overall idea. So if you guys can see, we just have represented the commode, which is made out of plastic, and these are out of the urinals are out of tin cans. But in the overall drawing, uh, they are visible very much less. They are given importance, not that much importance as compared to the overall idea.
So,
So
when you design a lot in detail, you always tend to, like, you want to put things, like, you always feel that, acha, iske piche itna time spent kiya hai, it has to be on the sheet. Like,
yeah,
let's just say this diagram could have been a lot of diagrams. Like, it could have been one diagram for the wall system construction, the drywall construction. One diagram could have been for the whole the system that is going on. Then one diagram could have been for the fixtures that we are using, because you always tend to think that, yaar, ye maine itna creative socha, I should put it on the sheet. But then it is not really that important. You need to realize ki, acha, what is more important. So then why not just show all of those things in one little diagram?
correct.
So there are 2 points I would like to state. First, technicality, like what to be incorporated in your technical drawings. So to think of that, start with the brief and with the story, the user group. Like combine these two, like what the brief asks you and what the story is about. Like in our story, we have the user group of the construction laborers. So the material has to be like logically has to be somewhere from the site itself, which can be readily available. So the brief and the story, combine these two and come up with certain materials or the design technicalities which you think of. Another thing is try to limit yourself in what you are going to represent. Like do not get carried away with the technicalities. Like restrict yourself to show this much only in your sheet. Do not incorporate what Siddhi said.
Diagram niche wale.
So yeah, so these are the 2 points which I had in my mind.
So, like, in order to design a washroom and considering the present pandemic situations also, the main idea was how can we design a touchless mechanism for the user group. So these can be more detailed out. We didn't know the actual mechanism. We worked out the mechanism, but we tried to represent that in a simplest form. Like if you can see, there is a push button where you can just press it and open, the doors will get open. The push button where the buttons are the connection is with the flush. So these are the minimalistic form of representing a drawing, which can just convey your idea. And then in the competitions, actually, the realistic renders, or not the realistic renders, the renders plays a very much important role, which shows the real idea and the actual scenario, how the things are going to be, plays a very much important role. Like, see, we had multiple views, we thought of multiple angles, but we restricted our sheets to have only two views. But this mistakes we generally do in our competitions. Like, we uh, we have views from multiple angles, multiple views, and in order to show some of the major detailings. So, like, in this view, we try to capture the entire internal space. Here you can see people are resting, they are having their recreational time, children are playing here, and you have your wash basins here, and how the materials and shadings are being planned out.
So I think we spend a lot of time even deciding which human is going to be where and what kind of humans are going to be placed in the view. Because ultimately, I feel views may, I personally feel that views, are not really necessary to show that particular detailing of a space, but then maybe overall mood and feel of the space, that it should convey a story, that how is this space going to be used, what is it going to feel like.
Correct.
So I believe that the final render would be something which could convey your story graphically. That it would be a single image that would convey the entire story which you are telling on the sheet, or you are representing through some narrative or some write-up, right? So it's the graphical representation which I believe. So it has to be something which is very critical in terms of explaining your design, in terms of explaining your site and surrounding. So it's not always important that you come up with renders that shows the buildings from the best angle. Sometimes you have to show the renders from an angle that would convey more usability or the functions of this space, right? So in the previous view, we can see that there is an internal space which is acting as a congregation space plus a play area for the children. Also, in the backdrop, you can see the children are using the water taps, and some are sitting and chilling. So the idea was in this render was to convey to the viewer that we have designed a space that would that would act not only as a toilet but would act as a place where one can have some relaxation, one can have some congregation and a playfulness in that. So this was the idea behind this render. Also in the second render, this render, I just told you that we have tried to show the real scenario. Like it's not the, I mean, it's obviously a hypothetical one, but we try to create a scenario. Like, yeah, this would be the condition where the people would be working on the site, and the system would act as a space for these people. So these were the two takes we had in designing these renders.
And while designing, while representing your final view, the design should actually get should have a strong context as in how that thing will stand out and be the eye catching of the entire existing scenario. How this the materials which we used are easily available in the construction site, so the structure the whole structure is designed according to considering the existing site. So yeah, so
So
these were the
after these two renders, we asked ourselves that, just by looking at these two renders, is someone going to be able to grasp the idea of the entire idea? Like, let's say the second view, you look at that view and you know that something is happening on the construction sites. It is something that has to do with the construction workers. Then you look at the internal view and you realize that, okay, this is some space for the workers where, they can relax, they can sit, they can just be there. So basically, the you just have to ask yourself: is the idea that you are going for being reflected in it?
right.
So
Say.
to summarize this entire thing, I would say there are certain points which one needs to cater or to think while designing or while participating for any competition. Like first one is the brief. Try to capture the essence of the points of the brief, not go blindly behind the points what they say. Just go with the essence. Second one is the user group. Try to incorporate that user group that best matches with the brief. Like it's the much needed user group for which you can design. Third one is the representation. How you are going to represent things. Like the vector or the raster one, like the realistic or the vector ones. It's up to you, like how you are going to represent. But try to try to represent only those which are most important for your competition, for your design, which are truly explaining your design, and you are not getting carried away with the representation thing. And the last one and the most important one is the strong narrative that could combinedly explain your story, your user group, your design, and your graphics. So the narrative has to be very much crisp, very much clear, and very much thoughtful. So these are the four takes which I would suggest. Yeah.
But before the summarization, I'd like to share मतलब our the actual this was the good parts, you know, मतलब हमने समझा दिया कि ऐसा हुआ, फिर ऐसा करना चाहिए, फिर ऐसा करना चाहिए, बट ये सारी थिंकिंग के पीछे बहुत सारी लड़ाइयाँ, बहुत सारे अच्छे थॉट्स एंड इसका सबका कॉम्बिनेशन था. सो यू नो इनिशियली हमारे पास बहुत सारे थॉट्स आए कि कैन वी डू इट फॉर लाइक सम डिसेबल्ड चिल्ड्रन और ऐसा वैसा, बट एट द एंड हमने ऐसा इस डिसीजन पे आए. बट एंड मतलब मोस्टली क्या होता था कि मी एंड सिद्धि वेर वेरी मच इनटू ऐसा रोमांटिसिज्म कि why not thinking the idea out of the box, ऐसा practical क्यों सोचना है हर चीज. एंड ऋषभ was very much practical कि नहीं ये possible कैसे, construction कैसे होगा. but फिर then we had to always negotiate properly. Siddhi, you can just remember any of the
मैं
incidents?
और अनुराग ऋषभ के पास जूरी लेके जाते थे, जूरी वो ऐसे प्रपोजल लेके जाते थे कि तू कर ले एक्सेप्ट.
And eventually, happily, we always came up with some mid ground. Like the combination of the technicality and the combination of something hypothetical or something very much thoughtful, like in idea wise, like it would be a very much creative one, but that also needs to be on ground. So I think it's my personal take that to be creative is very good, but that creativeness should also come with some practicality, some yeah, some practicality.
Yeah. So if I can share one of our I did one more competition with my other set of friends, and which is totally different from this brief and this idea of representation also. So I'd like to share that also. And then after this, we can have just informal conversation between us. If you guys have any doubt or anything you want to ask.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Are you guys able to see this?
Yes, sir, we are able to.
Yeah. So this was a design competition like 2 months back. Design of sacred spaces organized by ArcDias. So the brief was very much like you have to design a sacred space where everyone from every religion is accepted, and so basically you get to know what is a sacred space. You all know. So it was equally like what is there in Auroville, the Matri Mandir. And when we read the brief, it was completely reflecting that ki Matri Mandir, they wanted another Matri Mandir, and they had brief of you need to have kitchen, you need to have meeting hall, you need to have certain area statement for these people. So the first and foremost important thing was to crack the brief and to understand the brief and to take the brief or to design the project according to us. So first we started with what do you understand from sacred spaces? So sacred spaces basically we tried to understand the meaning of sacredness first. And then we thought why to basically sacred spaces are spaces where one can find solace, and one can find peace, and a place where one can find positivity to get energetic, or in order to remove or in order to um, fight, or not fight actually, in order to deal with all the negativities which might be happening with him or her. So we thought, and the user groups were flexible for us. Like we had to design for all the people from every religion. So the first and foremost thing what we did, we imagined what if in the world there was no religion, like the world without religion. So if we can see there, the multiple problems in the world are the major problems actually are due to religion and the caste or the differentiation basically. So why not design a place where everyone is equal, everyone have their thoughts and ideology uh, open for at the same level. So this was our take, and we designed a space. So this was our sheet composition, in which you can see the spatial arrangement of the designs are shown through the sections, perspective sections. So, and the plan is very much pretty simple, like just the line diagram and the sections showing different spaces and the movement of within the space, isometric views showing what are the different elements of these designs, and the final ultimate design view. Section, just a crisp and simple diagram of sections showing different levels and eye vision from this idea. I'll not explain you the whole the design, but the idea was key, the different way of representation of drawings to achieve your design.
So to add on to this, I would highlight a single point that while comparing these two competition sheets, we can see that in the previous one we used the realistic renders, while in this one we have used a vector one. So in the previous one, realistic was in our consideration because we tried to show the user group, and it was going up with the story and the user group. So like setting up the realistic situation of the site and how you think the system will work. So in that case, we thought that the realistic render would work. So the point here is, based on the competition and based on your story, just think about how are you going to represent your graphics. Like, would it be a realistic one or would it be a vector one? So that is my point here.
Yeah. So now you guys can have ask any question or anything. There is one question by Akansha, I guess. I just want to know about your take on how your perception on this competition have changed your being a student to being a professional now. You know, uh, this is a very good question actually, because when we are out from our college and we enter the practical world, where we are into offices, where we have to work for someone, or you guys might have your own practice, but specifically you have your client, okay. And in the present world, and the in present practice actually, the clients have very much restricted briefs, very much like the openness which we used to get in our architecture schools, it start vanishing, not vanishing, but it actually, there is a sudden stop to that, and you face different kind of problems while dealing with the clients. But uh, parallelly, when you are into involved in competitions or some or the ideas like this, you are back to that your core idea which you were in your architecture school. And the combination of a professional and this participating in competition helps you to be that creative architect which you might have imagined. Or Siddhi, would you like to add?
Yeah, so for personally for me also, what happens is when you are working professionally, you have clients who is above everything else. So it is not
Right.
about your ideas, what you want to do. It is about understanding the client, what the client wants, what would the client like. Then it's about the budget, it's about the deadlines. Then once you go into execution, it is a whole different story. So sometimes even that is a very creative process, of course, like to come up with your own ideas on like wacky requirements by the clients. Even that is a fun on its own. But then sometimes I feel that you just need a break, to just go back to your architecture school, that where you just can go wild with your ideas, just come up with crazy ideas, think out of the box. So I feel that way competitions are very good, because for me it's like a break, because you are tired of this routine रोज का कि ठीक है साइट पे आज ये डायग्राम भेजना है, साइट पे आज वो ड्राइंग भेजना है, आज इसका स्लैब बनने वाला है. So then it becomes kind of very monotonous, technical. So yeah, I think that is professional world is very different from the academics. So I think competition is like a glimpse of academics in the professional work.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
I'd like to add. Okay.
go ahead. Go ahead.
So after leaving the architecture school, when you enter the practical world, you have concerns, like when you invest around 20 to 30% in designing, and rest part is execution, and you are involved in that
True.
only. Plus like you have very much, it depends on the client, but you have constraint of vastu and construction style, construction techniques, the workmanship of the laborers, and your major of the time get invested in this process only, and you get a very much less time for execution, because you have deadlines for everything. Like you want your house to be constructed in 1.5 years or 2 years.
Sometimes if you are lucky, the client will be like, budget is no issue,
So you
time is
you do
no
not
issue, you
actually
do it.
spend much of the time in, and that is very
I
much
would
rare.
I would like to state one.
Yeah, Rishabh.
I would like to add on, based on the question itself, like how the competition for change our perception from being a student to a professional now. So I think that competition is a combination of both professional practice and academic. So while you are designing beyond the scope of professionalism, you are sticking to the deadlines and you are sticking to the, the dates and the importance, the prioritization as per the professional thing. So both these aspects are very much important in competition. But for the students who are still in academics and are not having any professional experience, uh, it is not very much difficult to come up with these. How you are working for the academics, just you work for the competition, but consider that the deadlines, like we also have the academic deadlines, but consider these deadlines to be more critical. Like consider these as your client's deadline, so you can come up with a certain good amount of design, and that too in a specific amount of time. uh, Also, like we mentioned, that do not stick to one thing. Like if you are stuck in certain things, just leave that there and think about something different, and eventually you will come up with that also. Because if you are stuck and you are putting more thoughts in it, there are chances that you will not come up with the design in stipulated time. So that is my point here.
And like we during our schools, we read about the great architects, about V.V. Doshi, Charles Correa, and they have their set of ideologies, their thought process, and we always had the thought, ki, when are we going to achieve this, and when are we going to practice like this? And competitions are the only way where this can be your start in order to set your ideology, in order to create your own ideology, and how uh, how to relate your architecture with the philosophy in you which you believe, and create your own philosophy. So these are your start points, and slowly, and it's a process obviously. Like we also made very much too many mistakes, like in our bachelor's. Like we used to dump all the materials which we had, we used, like full the sheets with text, small diagrams, multiple Lumion renders, multiple SketchUp renders. But slowly, with experience, you guys will learn that this is not actually required. What is required is the simple core idea with which you guys started, and you guys need to rectify yourself again and again. Like you have to compose the sheets like multiple times, like 10-15 times or many more. And when you put the sheet, dump all the material and then see, is this content required, and if this content is not there, will my whole design get affected? And this is a back and forth process.
So
Hello.
we have one more
Yeah.
question. Which
Yeah.
competition format is best to work on as a student? Conceptual or practical?
Basically, see, competitions, according to me, conceptual. If the basically competitions are are organized to see the idea, or the extent with which you can see or have a perspective about that brief, the extent, the out of the box idea. No doubt, if the brief is like as simple as, like, there are various competitions which get implemented also on sites like smart city mission, the street design for street for people. Like these ideas are going to be implemented, then that need to be a combination of conceptual plus practical. But when you have a competition brief such as the sacred space one, or the little big blue is also a practical plus a conceptual bit. But the competition like sacred space, where you have to imagine a new world, then that needs to be conceptual.
For me, competition is something that I would like. For me, the criteria for selecting a competition will be to do something that I do not usually do. Like, let's say in academics, I would go for something that is more practical oriented, that is more thought process oriented. Because academics, may I am already focusing on the conceptual level diagrams. I'm focusing on the thoughts, on the ideas. So I personally would prefer to do something that I'm not doing in the academics. I think that perception has changed for me now in the practical world, because practical in the professional world, I'm already executing things. I'm already, being more on the practical side. I'm looking at budgets. I'm looking at designs. I'm looking at constructions. So so now I would like to do competitions that are more conceptual oriented, because I would like to work on the uh, ideas or the thoughts that I personally believe in, but maybe I'm not able to do it in the real world.
Correct.
So I think to select it, it is all a very subjective opinion. Like you can go for something that you might not be able to do otherwise.
So I would like to answer this in a more romanticized way, like conceptual or practical.
आवाज चला गया तेरा.
Oh, your mic is off, sir.
So conceptual or practical, it depends on you. Like whatever brief you read, if it hits your heart, do it. It doesn't matter if it is conceptual or practical. Like you will have to work eventually on both types of projects. Like in professional world also, you will have to work on conceptual projects and also have to work on practical ones. So the competition offers you these two formats in one go. So try to do those competitions which hit your heart, and and select the topic which is more close to you. Like for me, practically, I want to. I mean, like us, we came up with the Loo competition. We thought to do this competition because we liked the brief and the situation which we were in at that time. So we initially thought like 2-3 user groups. If we came up with 3-4 user groups and we decided on one. So we that brief hit us hard, and during that time, and so we did that. So conceptual practical it depends.
Because no matter what kind of competition you do, be it conceptual, be it practical, it is always going to reflect on your portfolio. It is no matter what the competition, it is always going to, you are always going to learn something from it. It is always going to add value to your portfolio. So I feel you should just personally do something that makes you feel good. Or let's say you come across a brief that completely reflects the principles or the design beliefs and the philosophy that you have. Then just do it. It doesn't matter if it's conceptual or practical. It anyway is going to add value to your portfolio.
And before, if your design is practical or conceptual, the story is at the end important. If your design is practical, you just design a box, a simple box. But if you romanticize that box in a different way, in a philosophical way, then your design is successful for a competition. Okay, so other questions are some key points of judging criteria. Judging criteria, as we initially told, it's basically first and foremost is the idea, the out of the box idea, and the crisp and clean diagrams or of the idea which you are representing.
You need to keep in mind when the judges are looking at your sheets, they're going to be just glancing at it. They're not going to spend hours on it or even 15 minutes on it. They're just going to glance it. And
5 to 10 seconds at initial stage.
Yeah, of course. Like, let's say shortlisting. For the shortlisting, no one is going to spend so much time going behind all of the things. So you might personally feel that, yeah, my idea is very strong, my story is amazing, it is going to hit. But if it is not there in the sheet, nothing is going to happen. So you need to make sure that once your sheet is ready, is it like in just a 2-minute glance, is it going to hit the judge? Is he going to get a clear idea of what you are really talking about? And then maybe once you are shortlisted, then they are going to go through all the details, all the ideas. But then to get shortlisted, your idea has to reflect in just a glance.
So one useful tip. So so the judging criteria depends, as we used to mention, that it depends on how the first impression of your sheet. Like they are not going to spend much time in reading your entire sheet and to look into your graphics very carefully. So the first and foremost thing is the graphic, like the quality of graphic, how much it is conveying the information. And the second one is the title of the competition entry. Like I think we all three think that the title of your competition entry has very much to do with getting selected. So so it is one of the most important aspect on your sheet, which plays a very important role while the judges are having a glance on your sheet. The first one is the title. Second one is the bigger graphic or the key graphic on your sheet, which is explaining your entire design story in single narrative, single graphic.
Because when you have the limitation of just using 100 words or 150 words, even the title has to convey the information that is worth, let's say, 10-20 words. It has to do it. Then you just have to write 100 words. So your title has to tell a story. If you decide to put a graphic with it, that has to tell the story. And probably then the whole, whatever the idea is might get conveyed as a whole.
Yeah, one of the instances which we remember, if Rishabh might remember, Rishabh and me went for NIASA's thesis competition in Visakhapatnam, and we saw top 10 shortlisted entries, and the designs were so normal, so simple, and they were shortlisted because of the name. Because when the jurors go through the list of the topics, they shortlist, or the students get shortlisted because of the attractive names. But at the end, when they presented their design, the design were so simple and
that is objective, Anurag. You cannot judge
but name of the project is very important.
Don't make such controversial statements.
Okay. How
I
many?
guess we go to the next question. How many competitions have you done before winning one?
Yeah,
many.
so many. During our obviously the 3 years went into NASA, and we three were active members of NASA in our individual colleges.
College
And
में कुछ ही नहीं है. Academics and NASA, that was life.
NASA was the most important thing in college because all the memories which we made in college were during NASA only.
I think that also in a way helped a lot in terms of the kind of project that we do. क्योंकि academics का curriculum is also in certain ways limited कि ठीक है housing है, residence institute है. You take part in the competitions and you get to work on a variety of projects and you work with your seniors, you work with your juniors. So I think
Right.
that
And plus you getting involved in NASA, you get to see the level of work that students in different colleges do. Like she's from Sket Surat, and Sket Surat has been winning Reuben since ages. I'm like a decade. So this was NASA is always a good opportunity for us to see where we stand. And the next question.
Can you say something about managing the work with academics, being a student?
Start prioritizing your work. Start prioritizing your work. How much time you are going to spend on your academics, because eventually all of the students will eventually get passed in the academics. But what is important is the learning. So try to think that what will make you more learn. Sorry,
what
learn
you
more.
are talking about here though.
इसका प्रैक्टिकल सिंपल सॉल्यूशन बताता हूँ. मतलब बेसिकली कैसा है कि जब हम एकेडमिक्स करते हैं ना तुम लोग एकेडमिक्स करते होगे, हॉस्टल चले जाते होगे, वहां चिल मारते होगे, उतना ही टाइम तुम्हारे पास रहता है. तुम अगर कंपटीशन करो या ना करो, you guys can actually experience that. if you are not involved in competition, तुम उतना ही एकेडमिक वर्क करोगे जितना तुम कर सकते हो. बाकी टाइम तुम चिल ही मारोगे. And if you are involved in competitions, you will have you will be able to manage both the things. Just try, just do it. हमें लगता है कि कंपटीशन भी है, एकेडमिक्स भी लोड है, इसका सबमिशन है, उसका सबमिशन है, बट दिस इज
हम लोग कुछ नहीं करेंगे ना, फिर भी एकेडमिक्स का काम उतना ही करने वाले हैं जितना हमको करना होगा. बाकी का टाइम ऐसे ही जाने वाला है.
एक्चुअल में
Because you cannot work beyond a certain limit on one specific thing. अभी कितना करोगे, ठीक है, जितना तो चलने वाला है दिमाग उतना ही चलेगा.
करेक्ट. तो कंपटीशन के बारे में कैसा है ना कि अगर तुम कंपटीशन करते हो तो यू आर एक्टिवली, मतलब तुम्हारा योर माइंड इज कंटिन्यूअसली एक्टिव. जब भी तुम्हारा फ्री टाइम है या वेकेंट लगता है क्या आ सकता है, तो इट्स अ प्रोसेस बेसिकली. एंड फिर वो धीरे धीरे चीजें सॉल्व हो जाती है. और एकेडमिक्स में यार सब आखिर में हो ही जाता है, कुछ भी कुछ सबमिशन करके, जूनियर्स को इन्वॉल्व करके, सीनियर्स को इन्वॉल्व करके सब हो जाता है.
Okay. So we can go to the next one. How one-sheet competitions are affecting the competition culture of India?
मतलब it is not, मतलब I to take it in a positive way कि how minimally you can just express your idea. And this is actually in the, मतलब when you come out of a college, हमें कॉलेज में ऐसा रहता है कि इतनी सारी शीट्स, नंबर ऑफ शीट्स तो नंबर ऑफ मार्क्स, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में. यू हैव योर क्लाइंट, you have 5 minutes presentation, you have just 5 slides. You cannot just tell whole story कि तुम्हारा site ऐसा है. He is not going to understand anything. उसका तुम
from academics to like that is why I personally love these one sheet competitions, because
right.
as a student you are trained कि पैनल 3 पैनल भरनी है, 4 पैनल भरनी है, 1 पैनल में तो क्या जूरी देंगे. You are trained to clutter. So I feel that is why this is very important, because you are going to put only things that are important. Otherwise academics में even I personally used to do it कि यार 2 पैनल तो कैसे चलेगी, इसमें तो लगेगा कुछ काम ही नहीं किया है. So then I'll make unnecessary diagrams, I'll make unnecessary sections just to fill up one whole panel. But they might not even be important for my design. Like if my design is
Actually.
getting conveyed in just one view or just one section, why should I do all other things? So in that way, one competition, I think one sheet competition is very nice that way, because like for us also, we found it very difficult कि सब details एक sheet में कैसे fit करेंगे. So then we first composed our sheet. Like even during the day before the submission, I think we discarded 3 to 4 diagrams कि we don't need to put it. Like we spent so
Correct,
much
correct.
time behind making those diagrams, but then we just let it go. कि, it doesn't have any role to play here.
If you have worked 100%, then only 40% of that goes into sheet. Actual में. And talking, matlab, this is a very good process in order to one sheet competition. During our juries also, we don't know how to. Initially, we don't know how to speak and what to speak in front of jurors, and because of this one sheet competition, we start with our story and hit on the specific point which is needed to explain our whole design. And will suggest you guys to start adopting this method in your academics also. Not one sheet competition, but what to speak. Like we also have faced various problems. Like we start our design and we start with this is the parking, and from here the car will enter, and from here one will get out. But this is not actual design. This is not your actual design. You can show your parking, you can show your entry point, you can show your toilet, you can show your service block, but show the actual design which you want to say. And if the juror want to if jurors want to get into details, and they ask for you where is the toilet, where is the staircase, and then you can just point out and explain about the details.
I think this helps in the professional world as well, because when you are making diagrams that have to be sent on the site, you cannot clutter your sheet. Like you have to be very specific in terms of what dimensions you are giving, because you do not even want to confuse the contractor कि यार इधर से ये which one should I follow, कि इधर से ये वाला dimension लूँ, इधर से ये वाला लूँ. It has to be very crisp. Like this habit is going to go a long way into the professional world as well. मतलब how good are your drawings? Like they are basically going to be judged on how easily the contractor is going to read them. कि एक बार देख के he has to get an idea कि ठीक है ये वाला measurement मुझे यहाँ से लेना है, this is my point of reference, and I have to put things based on this. So I think this practice, like this system was not really there when we were into academics. So I think this is a good shift or a good evolution in the way the presentation is happening. So I think Abhi say if you start implementing this practice, it is going to go a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next one is to people who don't or can't do NASA.
Bahana.
But it's not really necessary कि NASA करना ही है. It's your own like personal preference. अभी like some people might be interested in, let's say किसी को ऐसे graphical work or artwork, handwork में interest है, so that person can spend time in that. ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है that you have to do it. But I personally, like why I did it is because when you work with a group of people, you are working with your seniors, you are working with your batchmates on one particular project. So everyone is going to have their ideas, everyone is going to have their skills. So I think even more than that design, वो जो process है ना, that is very important, because you learn so much in that process. No matter what your end product is, whether you win or whether you do not win, but like so many ideas that come from so many different people, I think that is where most of the learning happens.
No, plus apart from all this thing, architecture schools में हमें as such उतने competitions पता नहीं होते या उतने होते नहीं थे पहले. हमारे समय तो उतने नहीं होते थे. अब बहुत ज़्यादा start हो चुके हैं. And NASA was the only platform for us to explore on different things. Plus senior junior interaction, NASA conventions. So this is something more creative and more exciting apart from academics. And it is, according to me, one should be a part of NASA to experience this whole journey of architecture student life.
And more than everything else, it's also about getting to see where you stand. Like
Yeah.
you go for the conventions, you see what the other colleges are doing. Like I used to love that part as well, like going to different people's panels, seeing their academic projects, कि oh ये लोग के पास भी ये same briefs and they did it in this way. I could have also thought of something like that. So I personally feel that you are not missing out on academics when you are allotting a lot of your time for this, because you are also learning what other people are learning.
Yeah.
So the next one is what keeps you motivated? Like after threshold, I get least interested in my own design.
The idea is फटाफट निपटाओ.
नहीं मतलब actually we also face the same situations, but the core idea of कि the basic is we have this unique idea and we actually want to see what is the out product, and if we are able to justify our thought is the basic idea which keeps us motivated.
When you believe in, let's say कोई एक particular चीज का design करना है, you have this one idea, or you are very involved in your idea कि हाँ मस्त है, मुझे ऐसा करना ही है. Then you go for the jury, the judges are going to पूरा ऐसा मार देंगे judges तुम्हारी, and then you'll be like यार ठीक है, but then when you still you can still stick to your idea, you can still take their comments, और ऐसा come up with something that you still believe in. Then you won't be demotivated. फिर तुम्हारे में वो drive होगा कि ठीक है, मुझे final jury में तो दिखाना है that my idea is going to work. So I think that keep on challenging yourself कि हाँ ये मैंने conceptual में मैंने ये सोचा था तो करना है final jury में ये. I always have this habit कि final jury में मैं अपना conceptual jury का first sheet संभाल के रखती थी. That in the final jury I always see that ये first sheet में मैंने जो लिखा था, is it really happening or not?
Correct.
Just to add on to this, like the question was is getting the least interested in the design after some way. So if you have some belief in your idea, so it happens that the design outcome is not that much appealing, but you still believe in your idea. So in our competition also, there was a time when we both, like me and Anurag or Siddhi, would be having a thought that no, this idea is not working. This design is very much useless. We don't have to work on this. Let's think from zero. But it is one among us who always tried to, convince and kept the design on track. So if you are working individually, like for your academic thing, or your competition, so ask your friends, like your colleagues, your friends, that what do you think about my design, and have a discussion. Like when Anurag was doing his masters, we always used to have some discussions on his design. And right now I am pursuing my masters, so I am having a discussion on the design with Anurag, Siddhi. So this is what keeps our design on track, and we are getting least interested. So, but the time when you feel that you are least interested, just discuss with your friends, your colleagues about that. For that matter, you can also discuss with your mentor or with your guide also. So just discuss it and come up with a good solution.
And
even the that we work on, be it freelance projects or anything, we have this habit that we keep on discussing, keep on getting inputs. So it keeps that spirit up.
And discuss with a limited set of people only, because if you discuss with multiple people, you will get to have multiple ideas and you will get confused, and the core idea which you had will get
सबका सब करो वही जो खुद को करना हो.
हाँ, खुद में कॉन्फिडेंस रखो एट द एंड, ये बात है. खुद के थॉट मतलब जो तो फर्स्ट थॉट तुम्हें आया उसमें कॉन्फिडेंस रहना चाहिए मैं आखिरी तक.
What is more beneficial, practical site visits or me exploring through competition? Both are equally important, I feel.
Both are equally important. अभी when we go to site for construction sites, we face a problem regarding the brickwork. Like we studied in our first year, English bond, Flemish bond, brick bats कैसे काटने चाहिए, and the laborers actually ask us. एंड वो सारी चीजें जो रिबेट की साइज होती है, डिटेल्स होती है, विंडो सिल कैसा रहना चाहिए, ये सब चीजें हम फर्स्ट ईयर सेकंड ईयर में पढ़ते हैं फिर भूल जाते हैं, बिकॉज वी आर टोटली इनटू डिजाइन्स. बट जब हम प्रैक्टिकल लाइफ में आते हैं ना तो वही सारी चीजें काम आती है. तो ये एक प्रैक्टिकल और एक कंसेप्चुअल आइडिया दोनों साथ में मिलके आर्किटेक्चर बनता है. And that is
Competitions are necessary to keep your creative mind going. If you stop using it, I think, matlab, you cannot just stop thinking. You have to keep on boosting your creativity. So I think for that, competitions are important. Or site visits, though, are definitely very important in the professional world. I think every site visit, you will learn something new.
yeah.
Like, let's just say in the way the workers are working, कि ये particular चीज करने के लिए how are they, like simple things like अभी excavation का काम चल रहा है तो how are they making the way for the trucks materials to come in, or little things. You are always going to learn something on your site visit. So both are very important, I feel, and we should definitely have a balance of both.
एंड बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी होती है जो हमें स्कूल में नहीं सिखाई जाती. आई मीन कंस्ट्रक्शन डिटेल्स भी जो हमने सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल हमने इंग्लिश बॉन्ड फ्लेमिश बॉन्ड पढ़ा, सो वी रेड की 230 की ब्रिक होती है, 115 की ब्रिक होती है. बट व्हाट अबाउट द मोटर व्हिच इज गोइंग टू कम इनसाइड इन बिटवीन, उसका थिकनेस एंड उसकी वजह से ब्रिक बाहर निकलेगी. सो एक्चुअल डिमेंशन 110 का होता है, मतलब 115 की भी होती है बट 110 का. मतलब एक सिंपल एग्जांपल दिया मैं. सो ये सब सारी चीजें ऑन साइट जाके ही समझती है.
So, in order to grow as an architect, to grow completely as a very much important that to explore both sides and practical works as well as competition. Because competition will give you a sense of, will keep you grow as an individual with much creativity, and the practical projects and the practical side with it will keep you grounded at the same time. So both are equally important.
Yeah. So I guess that was all the questions you guys had. So we will move on to the conclusion section, and I invite the 361-bit founders to give over to things.
Thank you so much, sir, ma'am, for your time. And it was really a great experience to listen to your discussions and to gain a lot of from it. And we will look forward to improve ourselves by whatever offerings you have given to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you all to the participants who all participated in the seminar. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you, sir and ma'am, to join with us.
Hey, don't call us sir and ma'am and all in the profession.
Yeah.
We're all colleagues.
We are still student, ma'am.
We are all students. I am pursuing my master's. I am a student.
Yeah.
You can call both these two, Anurag and Siddhi, sir and ma'am, but me, I am still a student.
Yeah.
मैं भी स्टूडेंट हूँ, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर से रोज सीखती हूँ.
Okay, guys, all the best.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Stay tuned for next seminars and workshops coming up in 361-bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you all for having us here.